Mediterranean empires. We're taking a nice little break today, and it is a cold day. It's downright cool out. Now, my big old Burmese mountain dog loves it, but Daddy got the E-fire going today. Feels good. Well, the beautiful girlfriend keeps it cool in here because the dog's so big and furry, so she had the windows open. But I looked at the temperature gauge and told it's nice because you ain't got to use no energy. But man, it was like 63 in here. Whew. I don't mind it, but boy, that is cool. So we had to close some windows and turn on some heat here in mid-October. But we'll look over here real quick at the very back of these rules. The sequence of play. And we've done, everybody stocked up on reinforcements. You can see over here the player pools are empty. So we put all the units on the maps. And we got the meat and potatoes of all Wargamers games, and that's the conflict phase. Over here they call it the operations phase. So I've done this earlier, and it's mostly just a numbers game. Like I said, it's an abstraction, but it's got game unique die roll modifiers, mostly for leaders, and just the type of unit you got here. But like I said, it's an easy game. It's nothing really. It's not a simulation, nothing like Golf Strike or anything victory game wise. But I think this would be a good game to get a beginner going also. Although I don't know what that Crusade box is. I'm going to have to find out what that is. Huh. I haven't used that yet, but I've only been through a couple turns of this game, so we'll see what's going on. But like the old operations chart says, player A goes first. That is the France and Joe player. And we'll be right back to discuss more about what you do about the operations. Alright, here. Now, during the operations phase is where you end up moving units and creating forces. There's no limit to the amount of armies that can be in a force, but at the end of the turn, you gotta check the area restrictions because there's a certain amount of units that can end a turn in an area. You can have as many as you want in a force, but they can only end a certain amount in an area. I can gather all these guys up in a force and move and pick up units, but I can't add more units to the area they initially are gathered in. So when I gather these guys, I can gather these two guys here, move them, pick up units as I go, but I can't add any more from this area that I start with. And you got to roll for your operations value. We'll be rolling a die, and we'll be using this marker right here to keep track of my operations points remaining. And to move, you have certain movements here to move 1 point per area, 2 points of moving out of an area containing enemy units, and whenever you move into an area, you can have 2 forces from opposing sides in an area and not have a battle if you don't want, but the opposing side has the option to intercept and initiate battle against you. And it just tells us there's little points, so we'll be putting this marker here over here, and we'll be right back. Alright, so now it's strategy time. These units up here are all neutral, so if I move into there, I'm invading them, so I can't do that. These are all neutral. I can't move anybody into here. Now you do want to look down here. We got these little units here that are vassals of the Aragonese, and this one here is not only a vassal, but these Sicily's aligned with the Aragon. So this is where I usually start or I can't say usually, I've only done this once. But, and you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to invade, but this is where I like to gather my forces. Now, it does say in those rules that these guys will have to be loaded onto ships, so it's not an easy task to get over here to Sicily. I'll have to see how that's done. Another thing is gathering forces here. It's just going for what you know. Like I said, if I move into here and these other spots, that's an invasion. And you could probably take them on, take it, but It's up to you. And the key thing is, remember, victory points are for cities that you did not own at the beginning of the game, that you have at the end, or by turn 7 or something like that. Yep, turn 7. So I'm going to look this over, think over some strategy. We'll be right back. All right, French player ruling for operational points. All right, that's an 11, so that's not bad. Now you can adjust that by, player rolls 2 dice. The king is part of the force. Expend military advantage markers. So let me see here, and I don't really need any more. No, I don't have one right now anyway, so I will not be adding any diral modifiers. But I will be putting this onto the 11th spot for the French player. And let's do some operations. We'll be right back. Well, it is about a week later since my last video, and we're going to continue with operations here. As you can see, the player A, the French, and you have 11 operation points. And this is how you do this. We're going to activate this guy here as a force. He's going to be the only one in that force. And now first thing I do is I did that backwards. I'll get him as a force, and then I roll the 2 dice. So let's do this over again. We gave him 11. We should have did it differently. All right. Let me see. Friendly units in one land area. A player begins an action by selecting one force of friendly units in one land or sea area. The player must identify the units that will make up the force. A force cannot consist of units from different power. The force consists of any number of units. The phasing player then rolls 2 dice. So we'll do this the right way. This will be my force. I'll roll 2 dice. We get an operations value of 8, so not as many as before, but alright. Now I will move that force. Now I move him from Duchy of Apula to Calabera. And here I will pick up these units as per down here. A force may pick up any friendly units that have not yet been activated. So you can pick up as many. But once I announced him as my force, if there were other people or other units in here, and I only picked him, I couldn't add them once I rolled the dice. So I rolled the dice, he moved, and now he'll pick up these units. And these units will all be a force. Alright. Now I'm trying to do this right. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, but that will be it. Now when he moves, that also takes an operation point cost. So one area entered was only 1, so that will knock me down to 7 operations points. Now he's still got a whole bunch of operation points left. So yeah, I don't know if I did that the right way. Let's go ahead and select another force. This force is going to consist of 3 naval units. Now, according to the rules, you have to start, before you can do anything, you have to start in what's called, I guess, a port. That's a city. So I've already started there. If we were anywhere else, like in this area, not right here, like I did in my last game, or this area, I would have had to use operation points. So there they are. We're going to roll for them for operation points. -10, so I'll put this on the 10 marker. And we'll move them 1C area over here. Alright. That's a C area with Pisa units, but Pisa's neutral, so they won't attack them. They won't try to intercept. If it was a units that belong to Team B, they could try an interception, but he's going to move there. Now, we're going to turn a page here on the rules. I'll be right back because I want to look up under embarking and disembarking and naval transportation. Alright, I believe I did it right. And it'll say, as part of a fleet action, fleets may transport land units. Embarking or debarking transported land units does not expend operation points unless conducting an amphibious operation. That's what we'll end up doing. The transported land units are activated as part of the fleet action. Alright. A separate action is not conducted. Okay, it's fine. That's because they're all still there. They're all ready to go. Transported land units must be embarked and disembarked. So we're gonna do this all in one movement. One fleet may transport 2 land units of any type and any number of kings. So we have our fleet there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 units, but no king. Huh. That could be a bear. Where is the king for the old ant? Oh, he's over here. Oh, I should have. Well. What should I have done? Let's go back. We're gonna do this over here. 1, 2, 3. Get this over with. Now activate. Well, you know what? Huh. We're gonna activate the king as a group. We're gonna roll for his operations value. That'll be a 6. He will move 1, 2. From a 6. We'll go 5, 4. He'll pick up these units. Like I said, any amount of units can be in a group. So we got 3 units in a fleet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's capacity. All right, well then that will be the end of it. All right, so that's my second group. We took the militia, brought them down here, activated another group. And both of these groups are just 1 unit, so you can activate 1 or you can activate them all, but we don't need them all from what I'm planning. Move the king from here to here. Okay, now that's done. Now this will be my 3rd group, which will be all the Anju fleets. And we'll roll for them. That'll be the way to do it. Okay, he's got a 9. Oh, he's got an 11. 11. I think he said the maximum was 15. I don't know how that works. But anyway, now we'll do that. We'll go down 1. Then we'll move them down to 10. Alright, movement naval. 1 point per area entered. Now we will look on this transportation. Same fleet action rate. 2 land units. Any number of kings. Okay. So we got our maximum here. We'll load these guys up. Here we go. We got a nice big old stack here. I'll show you what we're talking about. There you go. Load it on up. Hold on a second for the cough button. Alright, now according to this, if I didn't have an amphibious landing, I can transport units back and forth until I used up all the op points. And right now my fleet has 10 available. We ain't gonna do that because they just picked these guys up and we're going to conduct an amphibious landing. Now once you conduct an amphibious landing, your fleet can't move. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Now conducting an amphibious landing costs operations points. So until we control this is called amphibious landing, a player must expend 1 op point to conduct the amphibious landing. So our op points are going down to 9. And we're going to land the king, some militia, and a couple field armies. So let me put that the right way there. Field armies are on top, militias on bottom, king on the very top. So there we go. We have just invaded Titra if Salsa. Okay, so there you go. Fleet stays there. We expended an op point for the invasion, and now it says the player must immediately conduct action using the land forces that made the amphibious landing. This action is conducted normally. Alright. The fleet and this action in the adjacent area, fleet area is complete even if ops remaining. So we lose the rest of these ops. And we're gonna have a little. Alright, well that's another thing. You can have a battle or you don't have to have a battle in this game, but I believe we're going to. And we'll be right back. Let me look at the rules and make sure I'm doing this right. Be right back.